Hi, welcome to Eclipse. In our previous videos, we have learnt that how to download Java and how to write simple classes as well as programs. We have also learnt that what is the importance of IDE such as Eclipse, and we have started working with Eclipse. In this video, let us continue and see different aspects of Eclipse. We have three familiar and famous views in Eclipse. One is Package Explorer, second one is Navigator, third one is Project Explorer. When you create a project, the Package Explorer will be displayed by default. In this Package Explorer, the classes will be present under default package, which is present under src package. So everything here look like a package, and there will be a library system folder by default which comes along with Eclipse when you download from website. If you want to change the views to Navigator or Project Explorer, you need to go to Windows, Show View and select Navigator. In Navigator, all of the options or entities are going to display in terms of folder, and here bin folder and src folder are displayed, whereas Package Explorer only the src package will be displayed. This is the difference in terms of viewing the project. And in the Navigator, we will be able to see .class path file and .project file as well. If you want to change to Project Explorer, again go to Windows, Show View and click on Project Explorer. This is almost same like Package Explorer in terms of displaying the src folder and default packages as well. In terms of Project Explorer, if you right click on a project, you'll be able to see a build path where we'll be able to see config build path option, and here you can add external jar files as well as you can add or delete the source file. Whereas in the Package Explorer, we'll be able to see Java build path, but there will be more options along with config build path option. In case of Navigator, will not be able to see Java build path. If you want to see Java build path, you need to click on Properties and you can add the external jar files, or you can add or delete the folder here. We have a folder called .settings folder. The .settings folder contains a file. They are specific to the workspace. The file inside the settings folder contains information about compiler version and other information as well. If you open .settings folder, we have a file here. In this, we'll be seeing all the information related to our workspace, such as source version, compiler version, so and so. We have a bin folder. This is a folder holds all the dot class files. This class will get created as soon as Java program gets created. This is a bin folder. Here it will be having all the class files of your program. The program, if you create, it will be there in the src folder. This is a human understandable program. This will be compiled and saved as dot class file in bin folder. src folder, again this is a folder where we can create the classes. Dot class path file, this is a file having information of folder such as src and bin. If you add any other folder, that folder information should be present here, else the classes of that folder will not get executed. Let me open dot class path file. Here is the information about src folder and bin folder. If you add any folder in the src folder, that information must be there in the class path file. Otherwise the classes which are going to write in that folder, it will not get identified or it will not get executed. Let me create one simple folder. That folder's information must be added here, else the program what you are going to write inside the folder called test will not get identified or will not get executed. Dot project file, when a project is created in the workspace, a project description file is automatically generated that describes the project. The sole purpose of this file is to make the project self description. Let me open dot project file as well. While writing the program, we are not necessary to worry about dot project as well as dot settings file, even dot class path also, until otherwise you add one more folder inside it. If you don't touch all of these file, and if you can work with if you don't want to create one more folder, then simply we can create n number of classes and you can work with without worrying dot class path as well as dot project. Till now we have written one or two programs where we don't have numbers, but in real time we need numbers to show each and every line of a program. It will going to help when it comes to debugging a program. How to add numbers? Very simple. You need to go to Windows, Preferences, Expand General, Expand Editor, click on Text Editor. There you will be seeing one checkbox saying Show Line Numbers. Select it, click OK. You will be able to see line numbers at the left side of your program. Change compiler version. Sometime what happens, you might have used older version. At that time, if you want to change the version of your compiler, you need to go to Windows, Preferences, Expand Java. There you will be able to see one option called compiler. Select the compiler, where you can change the compiler version. Add external jars. Think that you are working with a jar which is developed by someone, not from the Java developers. For example, Selenium WebDriver jar files. You need to download Selenium WebDriver jar files from the website called seleniumhq.org. Now, if we want to work with Selenium WebDriver, we need to add those jar files to our Eclipse project. Then only the classes which are present in that jar is going to identify here. How to add external jar files? Very simple. Right click on the project. Remember, don't right click on elsewhere, but right click on the project. If you are in navigator view, you will not be able to see build path option. Instead of that, you can directly click on properties, then click on libraries tab on Java build path window, then click on add external jars. You can navigate to the folder where the external jar files are present. You can open the jar files and add the jar files. Select all of the jars and click on open. Now the jar files which I have added as external jars are becoming and showing under the tab called libraries. Click on OK. The same can be done in case of project as well as package explorer. If you are in package explorer, right click on the project. You can directly click on build path and config build path. Again it will open the same window where you can add the external jars too. Commenting of the code. You can comment by using / line by line. If you want to uncomment, again remove the slashes. You can comment more than one line directly by selecting and pressing Ctrl Shift and C. If you do the same action again, it will uncomment, that is Ctrl Shift C. Debugging. Let us look at the debugging options what we have in case of Eclipse. Say I want to debug few line of code. Let me write to system.out saying hi, good morning, and hi, good night. I want to debug these two lines. If you want to debug the lines, first you need to have a breakpoint. How to add a breakpoint? Very simple. Double click at the left side vertical bar. If you double click on vertical bar, you will be able to see a dot, that is nothing but adding a breakpoint. If you want to execute in debug mode, you can right click, there will be an option called debug as, and select Java application. When you run the program in a debug mode, the Eclipse will stop or pause at the place where you have placed a breakpoint, and it will show a pop-up saying confirm perspective switch. Click yes. Then the normal mode is going to change it to debug mode. At the debug mode, you will be able to see different color, the point where you have a breakpoint. Now it will be waiting for your inputs or command. If you want to run line by line, you can click on F6. For example, the execution cursor is at line number 5. If you press F6, it will go to line number 6 and so and so. So if you press F6, the line by line execution is going to happen. Think that you have few more methods. Let me write 2 more methods, such as public static void add num. Let me say system.out add to num, and I'll write one more method, public static void subtract num system.out subtract to num. I want to call this method inside the main method. Also I want to call subtract number inside the main method. Now let me save and run in debug mode. As usual, you will get the pop-up say yes. When you press F6, again it will go line by line. Now we are at method add num. If you press F6, directly it will execute the method and it will go to next line as I am pressing F6. It will not go inside the method. If you want to go inside the method, you need to press F5. Let me press F5 this time. Let me press F6 till line number 7. On line number 7, since I am calling a add num method, let me press F5 this time. When I press F5, it will enter into the method. So F6 is line by line execution. F5 is going to enter into the method if you are calling a method. F8 is the keyword. It will help you to run from breakpoint to breakpoint. Let me have a breakpoint at line number 12 and line number 17, and let me execute in debug mode again. Now the cursor is at line number 5. If I press F8, it will jump from one breakpoint to another breakpoint, where I have a breakpoint at line number 12, and if I press F8 again, it will jump to another breakpoint, that is line number 16. Think that you are in between the program execution, and if you want to continue from the point where you are there, at that time you can press F9. It will continue remaining code. Let me press F9. So it will execute the remaining code. F11 is the shortcut key to run a program. If you have a breakpoint, then it will change it to debug mode. If you press F11 immediately, if you don't have breakpoint, then it will not stop anywhere, but it will run entire program. So let me delete or remove the breakpoints and let me press F11. So when I press F11, the program will get executed and the result will be shown in the console. We can create a package. How to create a package? Right click on your src folder, go to new. There we have an option called package. Click on a package. It will ask the name of package and it will be present under src folder. Create a interface. Again right click on src folder, go to new and go to interface, where it will ask to enter the name of interface. Don't worry about the meaning of interface and what is the use of it. In next videos we'll be explaining about what is the interface, how to create and how to call, what is the importance in case of Selenium WebDriver as well. How to create a folder? Very simple. Again right click on src folder. There you will be able to see an option called folder, and once you click on folder, it will ask you the name of folder. Give the name of folder and click on finish. It will create a folder. Create a flat file such as .properties. If you want to work with flat files, go to src folder, click on new and click on file. Here you can enter name of the file along with extension. For example, if you want to create .property file, say name of your property file, then use extension as .properties. Likewise, you can create any other flat files. Why I am saying flat files is this file will not get executed, this file will not get compiled at all. This is just a placeholder for some information. Sometime you will not be able to see class, but you want to create a class. At that time you can click on right click on src folder, go to new. Here I am able to see class, but as I said, sometime you will not be able to see class in this window. At that time you can click on other. When you click on other, you will be able to see class in wizard. Whatever the messages I had given, it will be executed and the message will be displayed in a tab that is called console. There is another tab called problems. If your program has any syntax errors, those syntax error lines will be displayed under the problems tab. As of now, my program does not have any errors, hence there are no errors displayed here. let me remove a semicolon. When I remove semicolon, I will get one error marks at the line number 16 because I have removed a semicolon and it is not as per the syntax. When I save the program, immediately it will display an error in problem tab. You can expand this error. There it will say syntax error, insert semicolon to complete the block statements. Means line number 16, it's asking me to have a semicolon. Not only that, if you have any syntax error, here also you can get error, and if you move your cursor or if you click on the red mark, then it will suggest what has missed and what you can do to remove this error marks. Import. For example, think that you are using some classes from external jar files or from other package. That class has to be imported to this class, otherwise the keyword or the class name is not going to identify here. For example, I have added external jar files such as Selenium WebDriver. Let me use a keyword called WebDriver. This WebDriver is not getting identified by my program because in Java we don't have any class called WebDriver, since it is coming from external jar files. If you want to work with WebDriver class, then you need to import to our class, that is in first program. How to import? Very simple. After typing WebDriver keyword, press Ctrl keyword and hit space of your keyboard. Once you press Ctrl and space, then it will suggest from where you can import the class, that is from org.openqa.selenium. Select the option. Once you select, automatically the package is going to import at the top of your class with a keyword called import. Change workspace. For example, if you want to change workspace or create new workspace, you can go to File, and there we have an option called Switch Workspace. You can switch to any other workspace or create a workspace using Browse button. For example, if you click on Browse, it will allow you to select the workspace, or there will be a button called New Folder. You can create new folder and select the created new folder, and you can create a workspace. Restart. If you want to restart your program, Eclipse, you can go to File, click on Restart, then the Eclipse will get restarted automatically. Project clean. After every updates, you need to clean the project so that the updates whatever you have done, it will going to come in effective. So to do that, you can go to Project tab and click on Clean. It will ask you, is it cleaning all project or clean the selected project? So you can select either of one based upon your choice, then click on OK, so that the project will be cleaned and the updates whatever you have done, it's going to apply to the project as well as program. If you want to refresh the program, right click on project, then there is an option to refresh. If you click on refresh, the project will get refreshed. Thanks for watching this video. For more videos, you can visit to www.qascripts.com or contact us on info@qascripts.com or qascripts25@gmail.com. Thank you.